Well, howdy, partners, and welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this episode, we are talking about new arrivals from Umbrella Entertainment out of Australia. Before I go any further, I want to let you guys know I've either watched or checked every single one of these discs on my Region A player. 4K is a region, I have a Region A 4K player. No problems whatsoever. They all load up fine for me. Australia continues to be one of our biggest audiences. I think that's I like saying that Serial at Midnight is big in Australia. If you're watching this and you're not in Australia, shout out in the comments below. I'd love to know you're out there and know who you are. So let's kick it off with some looks at what we got here. Whiplash getting a 4K release for Australia. We had this movie in North America for a while. I think this came out 2020 on a 4K Blu-ray digital combo pack. Now, Australia gets a chance to pick this up in their native homeland. This is the 4K only version. I don't think it's just the 4K disc. No real special features here, but the movie is fantastic, and really the movie in the highest quality presentation. That's exciting. And so, this is Damien Chazelle. This is his first movie, right? The guy that would go on to do La La Land and First Man. But it started here, and I really like this movie because it's kind of personal, and it's kind of it feels like it's the work of one guy. A team of people, but it really feels like the creative vision of Damien Chazelle, which I like to champion. We're getting into such this realm of movies that are made by bazillions of people, like boardrooms full of people. Not Whiplash. This feels really cool, and it's a great movie. So, on 4K in Australia. Now on to Drive-In Delirium. This is the new compilation. This is the Final Conflict. These are trailer compilations. In fact, we've talked about a couple of these before. I know for a fact I've got video coverage for these. And I think there there's a third one I've covered too, but we're talking about the brand new trailer compilation from Umbrella. This is Drive-In Delirium, the Final Conflict. 181 mind-blowing trailers, uncensored, remastered in high definition. Do you know why I love these? Because we are movie fans. First and foremost, we are cinephiles. It's the love of movies that draws us to these things. As much as we love to hold them and to have preservation in our hands and in our collections, we came to this because we love movies. You watch these, you think you know movies. You think, oh, I know a lot about movies. You watch these trailer compilations, I guarantee you, you know what? I'll guarantee if this is not true for you, I will refund you every cent you paid for this video. That's a trick, see, because you didn't pay anything. You will be exposed to things you had no idea ever existed. For younger movie fans who are just entering their cinephile, pursuits, I can't recommend these enough. You would think it's just trailers, but the trailers tell so many stories, and these are the trailers themselves. Let me pull this out so you can just to kind of get an overview here. I almost feel like they're spoiling it because these are like playlists, right? They're like a good mixtape. And they start in one place. They'll start with horror. They'll start with, there's like one that starts with like action and exploitation and stuff like that. They start one place and then they just gradually veer off into other areas. Before you know it, you're watching trailers for like 80s, like thrillers and like studio stuff, then independent stuff. It's such a well-curated, well-organized, sequenced trailer compilation. When I watch these, I always I'll watch like 30 minutes. And then you look at your watch and it's been 2.5 hours. And you're like, it doesn't feel like it because you really get caught up. And you're also writing down things. You're like, I need to see this. I need to see this. This is the best way to find out what you haven't seen. I know other companies do trailer compilations as well. I think these are the best for the reasons that I just told you about. They don't stay to one thing. They flow in and out of genres. You start in horror, before you know it, you're in like drama, then you're in military, then you're in war. You're military and war, same thing. But the sword and sorcery, and then back to horror, then giallo, and then you're doing like a little chunk of Italy stuff, and you're like, how? Whoa, like Dino De Laurentiis blocks, and you're like, it's amazing the way these flow, epic. So I love those. So that's available now. Part of the sunburnt screens the new Blu-ray of Breaker Morant. This is in Australia. Sunburnt Screens is really a one of the Umbrella sub-labels that's they have different lines. They have 6-shooter classics. They have Sunburnt Screens. They've just launched like Sinful Cinema, which is, they have so much going on, so many like sub labels, the Ozploitation Classics, which we're about to talk about in a minute. But these are important Australian movies that are really given like scholarly, like I guess we in America would say like Criterion level coverage. So this is a movie from 1980. I think it's 1980. I should double check that. Yeah, I'm right. And it's a military movie. It's got a lot of... I'm not going to describe the movie to you. What I am going to say is that it's loaded with special features. We've got an all-new audio commentary with director Bruce Beresford. We've got, the producer Matt Carroll, actors Jack Thompson, Brian Brown, cocktail fans, Brian Brown. All-new Breaker Morant, the retrial, a feature-length documentary. Edward Woodward, audio interview, the Breaker documentary, the myth exposed. You know what? I'm just reading this to you. Why don't I just hold this up and let you see it for yourself? That's what I should have done from the start. But I'm not going to start this video over again. Look at the inside of this too. This is reversible artwork, so if you wanted to, if you don't want the text on the back, you could flip this around and you just have this nice picture on the back. Wonderful stuff. I'll have a review for this for you guys at some point in the future. This is installment number 5 in the new Ozploitation Classics Blu-ray line. We've covered all 5 of these if you're just joining us. They begin with The Adventures of Barry McKenzie, and then the Chunder and the... Okay. Stone is number 2. Number 3 is the new reissued version of Not Quite Hollywood, which has almost an hour of added Quentin Tarantino interviews. And number 4 is Wind Rider with Nicole Kidman, the outdoor, about wind riding. This is number 5. This is a double feature of Patrick. It's so interesting because almost every single one of these movies I know about in the first place because of Not Quite Hollywood. And I know about Not Quite Hollywood because of Umbrella Entertainment. So Patrick is like a guy who's like in a coma in bed, but he's got mental powers, and people are getting hurt, man. And then there was a remake directed by Mark Hartley, who's the director of Not Quite Hollywood. See how it's all connected, loaded with bonus features. The Not Quite Hollywood interviews. We've got, oh my goodness, we've got audio commentaries. We've got featurettes. We've got so much stuff. By the way, let me show you this is the inside. So we have 2 unique pieces of artwork. We have each movie's on its own disc. It's pretty groovy, man. And then last, but certainly not least, did I save my favorite for last? I did. This double feature that just released in Australia. This is the Vincent Price double feature of The Tingler and The Mad Magician. Now, these, for the American audience, these have been kind of hard to get a hold of. They're not... I'm trying to think if did these have Twilight Time releases? I think they did. Anyway, these have kind of flown under the radar, never really collected any of the big Vincent Price Blu-ray box sets that Screen Factory put out or anything like that. The Tingler is the William Castle movie with the gimmick where they would literally put like an electrical thing in the seats, and when certain things would happen on screen, they would shock the audience. They would literally shock the audience. That era of schlock where you would have like they would rig skeletons to come out of the ceiling and go down the middle of the theater, like that's wonderful. I don't know anything that first of all, you couldn't do it because you get sued, but I can't even tell you the last thing that would be comparable to that. It's just amazing. And then The Mad Magician is the movie where Vincent Price is a stage magician who has to defend his secrets, and it's almost a noir. Maybe it is a noir wrapped up in a horror production. There's decapitations. It's exciting. It's really good stuff. So both of these movies are on one Blu-ray. This does have reversible art because in Australia they have to put these ratings warnings on the cover, but they give us the reversible art so that we have clean cover art, because Umbrella knows that we don't want like a big What do they rate it? Recommended, it's M, mature themes, violence, and drug use. You don't want that on the cover of your Tingler. You don't want drug use on your Tingler. That's the tagline for the video. Guys, that's going to do it for this coverage of new releases from Umbrella Entertainment. Tremendously excited about all of this stuff. I should also say the Vincent Price double feature, the Mad Magician, looks like, I don't know if it's a new transfer, but it looks like it's coming from either a 2K scan or a 4K scan. It looks, mwah. And the Tingler looks good too, but it doesn't look, the other one looks like it's just been freshly cleaned up. So exciting times for movie fans, for cinephiles everywhere, not just in Australia, but all over the world. Again, you can, these played perfectly fine on my Region A player. You can find these at a retailer of your choice. You can probably, if you're in Australia, you know where to go. You can get them directly from Umbrella. You can get them from JB Hi-Fi. You can get them from so many places. If you're in America and you want these, keep your eyes on Deep Discount. You can keep your eyes on Diabolic DVD. They pop up. When they do, they go fast. But happy to cover them here. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. Until next time, here's where to go and what to do.